Hello everyone, I'm forecaster Jack Sillin here to discuss some of the severe weather forecasts for the afternoon evening of Thursday, May 31st, 2018. Here's a look at our GOES East satellite imagery. This is a long loop over the past 12 hours, and you can see that we had thunderstorm activity developing across parts of the southern plains yesterday evening into last night. That moved east through Oklahoma, producing severe weather. As we discussed in yesterday's video, lots of large hail, damaging winds associated with those storms. Those storms have now weakened and kind of spread out, but they have released tremendous amounts of energy into the atmosphere, into the upper atmosphere, and are creating a little bit of a remnant circulation, a remnant disturbance in the upper atmosphere. So you had thunderstorms so powerful that they've kind of generated their own upper level disturbance. And what we're going to see today is that upper level disturbance is going to reinvigorate some storm activity here across parts of the lower Ohio Valley. So we're watching that upper level disturbance created by the thunderstorms last night. And that is going to help touch off some more convection across parts of the lower Ohio Valley this afternoon. Looking at our Ecmwf's thunderstorm composite map, you can see we have all the ingredients lined up here for some severe weather. Plenty of instability, no shortage of that. CAPE values, that's convective available potential energy, a measure of thunderstorm fuel basically, in the 1 to 2,000 joules per kilogram range, so plenty of fuel here for thunderstorms. The triggering mechanism is going to be that disturbance we talked about. There are also reflections of that disturbance in the remnants of those thunderstorms on our surface map here. So you can see our surface winds generally out of the southwest across the middle part of the country today, but you'll notice across Missouri here we have some southeasterly winds. We have a little bit more of a circulation going here, this counterclockwise rotation indicative of low pressure. So we have a little area of low pressure here in southern Missouri, and that is going to be moving east and is going to help to provide the trigger mechanism for those severe thunderstorms tonight. So we have our fuel, we have our trigger, and then you can see some of these mid to upper level winds a little bit stronger out of the west compared to the southwesterly, southerly low level winds. So you have some of that shear as well. Not expecting too much in the way of tornadoes because we don't quite have enough rotational energy in the lower levels of the atmosphere. We can actually see that if we select our higher resolution model here and scroll down to the severe weather parameters. We can look at storm relative helicity, so that's a measure of rotational energy in the atmosphere. And you can see that while we have some here across parts of Missouri, by the time we get to 5 o'clock tonight, the storms are going to be a little bit east of this area, so may not be able to tap into that rotational energy, and actually a lot of that rotational energy is kind of being created by the storms themselves. So it kind of remains to be seen how much of that is going to exist. But if you look at the kind of broader picture here, outside of the model trying to resolve these storms, the broader picture is we don't have a whole lot of rotational energy in the lower levels of the atmosphere. So not expecting a widespread tornado threat. The primary threats will be damaging winds and large hail, although of course a tornado can't be ruled out. In terms of storm mode, we have this kind of residual linear structure already to the storm. So if we go back to our GOES East satellite imagery, actually going to click to zoom in, and we're going to click near the edge of the map to kind of pan down, and then we can select our HD radar imagery right here. So you can see that we already have a line of storms here in southeastern Missouri. Again, you click near the edge of the map to get that just right view, and click the little circle to get a radar site that's closer to the storms, and you can see we already have this kind of blob-like linear structure, and that's expected to continue throughout the rest of the day. If we look at our simulated radar imagery, you can see again that we have this kind of initial round of storms here. This is 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, and that is going to kind of fade away as we head through the midday into the early afternoon, and then the main line of storms develops later on this afternoon and evening. It is expected to be a line of storms, discussed that a minute ago, and again, damaging winds and large hail, the primary threats, especially once you see this kind of backward C bow echo type structure. And if you see that in the simulated radar imagery, again, don't take it too literally. but know that the area, kind of where that echo is moving, kind of this general area is at an enhanced risk for damaging winds. Again, this is not supposed to be a pinpoint accuracy map. We're not, forecasting a storm over that town and that town in that county, or that county right there, but just scattered thunderstorm activity here with a line of storms off to the south. So this is a general overview tool, not a precision tool. One quick thing I just wanted to note is that our models are not perfect, and we had a great example of that earlier today. So I'm going to select the Missouri view here with our HRRR data. Here's Missouri. And show you how the model got off to a bad start this morning, and has not been doing so well. So here is a look at the radar, the actual radar from 8 o'clock this morning. You can see light rain forecast here, or light rain is falling rather, not forecast. This is actual radar data, and we have light rain here across parts of west central Missouri with some heavier thunderstorm activity off to the east. Now, what did the model forecast think was happening at 8 o'clock? Well, it had intense thunderstorm activity all the way from northeastern Oklahoma through parts of eastern Kansas into southwestern Missouri. It also had that kind of lead-off thunderstorm activity, but it was forecasting intense convection here in this area where in reality we had only light showers. So always a good reminder to keep an eye on what the models think is happening right now, and if they're getting the forecast for right now wrong, well, they're probably also, in fact, they're certainly also going to get the forecast wrong 6, 8, 12 hours from now. So use the models with caution. Today provided a good example of how models start off on a bad foot, and as soon as they start off on a bad foot, the errors multiply out through time. So not taking the later data of this run of the HRRR too seriously. If we check in on, you can see that we had a little bit of an improvement here with the latest run, but there you go. Don't take the models as literal fact. In any case, that is a quick look at some of the severe weather forecasts here across parts of the lower Ohio Valley, from southern Missouri through southern Illinois, Indiana, parts of western Kentucky, all expecting large hail damaging winds today with that line of thunderstorms rolling through. Of course, lightning and heavy rain threats with all thunderstorms, even non-severe. You can follow along with all the storms here with our storm tracking products, HD radar, GOES satellite imagery, lightning detection. We have lots of options here for you to keep an eye on the storms later on today. That's it for me for now. Thanks for watching.